Los Angeles, California, February 12, 1972. Exactly 8:30 p.m. Outside, the City of Angels breathed its usual chaos, sirens in the distance, engines humming, neon lights flickering like restless thoughts. But inside the downtown sports arena, time itself seemed to slow. The air was thick, electric, heavy with an anticipation so sharp it pressed against the chest. This place had seen wars fought with fists and sweat for decades. It was a cathedral of combat, built from concrete, echoes, and broken dreams. But tonight was different. There were no flashing marquees, no public ticket lines, no television cameras hunting for headlines. Only 300 people sat scattered in the shadows, fighters, trainers, Hollywood insiders, and men who understood that some moments are too dangerous to be public. They weren't here for entertainment. They were here for a secret whispered across dojos, gyms, and back rooms for 3 long weeks, a challenge that defied logic, a challenge that, by every rule of sport and physics, should never have existed. At the center of the ring, beneath a flickering yellow light that made sweat shimmer like diamonds, stood Muhammad Ali. He wasn't just a man, he was an event. 6 feet 3 inches tall, 210 pounds of sculpted force. His body looked carved from dark granite, every muscle shaped by discipline and pain. His shoulders rose like boulders. His arms carried the quiet thread of explosive power. His chest moved with the slow, confident rhythm of a lion at rest. White trunks hung low on his hips. Red gloves rested casually at his sides, not raised in defense but in dominance. This was the undisputed king of combat, the man who rewrote the meaning of heavyweight boxing. The man who danced when giants tried to destroy him. The man who floated like a butterfly and stung like a bee. And tonight, Muhammad Ali had done something no one expected. He had called out Bruce Lee. Across the ring stood a figure that looked almost unreal beside him. Bruce Lee, 5 feet 7 inches tall, barely 135 pounds. To the untrained eye, it looked like a mistake. Like a tragedy waiting to happen. Lee was not a boxer. He had never fought for a heavyweight title. He wasn't built like a tank. He didn't rely on brute force. He was a martial artist, a philosopher, a man who had quietly shaken Hollywood with ideas sharper than fists and speed faster than belief. On paper, this wasn't a fight. It was an execution. But as the silence deepened, so complete that the buzzing lights overhead sounded deafening, the witnesses felt something unsettling. Bruce Lee wasn't afraid. He stood completely still. No wasted motion, no nervous shifting. His calm was more intimidating than Ali's shadowboxing. Every muscle in his lean frame was coiled like a steel spring under extreme tension. Not rigid, alive. Vibrating with a speed the human eye struggled to track. He wasn't a fighter waiting to strike. He was water, ready to flow, adapt, or crash with devastating force. Ali noticed it immediately. With a half-smile that mixed humor and psychological warfare, Ali stepped forward. He had seen fear in every form. Trembling hands, wide eyes, stiff legs. Men broke before the first punch was thrown. But when Ali looked into Bruce Lee's eyes, he saw something unfamiliar. A mirror. No fear, no ego, just awareness. Ali extended his glove, huge, heavy, a mountain of leather, and gently tapped Lee on the chest. The sound was soft, but in that silence it landed like thunder. "Come on," Ali whispered. "Show me if you can actually hit me. Show me if all those stories about your speed are true." The room held its breath. Bruce Lee didn't blink. In that instant, this was no longer about size or strength. It wasn't even about fighting. It was about 2 completely different universes of discipline colliding on 20 feet of canvas. But to understand what truly stood in that ring, you have to leave 1972 behind. Years later, in a quiet, sunlit room, a much older Muhammad Ali sat across from a man named Howard. Howard was everything the world respected on paper. Ivy League educated, brilliant, polished. His identity was built on degrees, titles, and intellectual superiority. But behind the sharp suits and credentials lived a deep, unresolved darkness. Years earlier, Howard had attacked Ali publicly, on national television, His words were cruel, racial, and venomous. He had tried to humiliate the champion in front of millions, believing intellect could wound deeper than fists. He thought education made him powerful. Now the roles were reversed. Howard sat broken, weighed down by regret he couldn't escape. Across from him sat Ali, hands trembling slightly from Parkinson's, body slowing, but spirit untouched. An unshakable fortress no disease could conquer. Howard finally spoke, his voice cracking. "Can I ask you something?" Ali nodded gently. "That night, when I said those horrible things to you, you never got angry. You didn't fight back. You just watched me. How did you stay calm while I was trying to tear you apart?" Ali leaned back, the silence returning. Just like that gym in 1972. Then he spoke. "You know why I didn't get angry, Howard?" Howard leaned forward, desperate. "Because I knew something you didn't." "What?" Howard whispered. Ali's voice was soft, but carried the weight of truth. "You weren't attacking me. You were defending yourself." Howard froze. Ali continued. "When someone attacks you with that much hatred, it's almost never about you. It's about them. They're afraid you're better, afraid the world is changing, afraid they're becoming irrelevant. So they lash out, not from strength, but from fear. The words hit harder than any punch." Ali smiled gently. "Once I understood that, I couldn't hate you. I felt compassion. I saw a scared man hiding behind intelligence. I knew if I stayed calm, if I showed you my humanity, your fear would eventually die." Tears streamed down Howard's face. He reached across the table and took Ali's trembling hand. "You were the greatest teacher I've ever known," he whispered. Ali smiled. "And you're the bravest student. Admitting you were wrong is harder than stepping into a ring with a heavyweight champion." Back in that dimly lit arena in 1972, that same truth existed. It was never about punches. It was never about size. It was about mastery of the self. Whether facing a lightning-fast martial artist or razor-sharp insults, Muhammad Ali understood the ultimate secret of victory. The only way to truly conquer an enemy is to see the fear hiding behind their armor and meet it with respect. That night didn't host a fight. It hosted a revelation. True power isn't how hard you can hit, it's how much peace you can keep when the world tries to provoke you. In the end, the greatest victory is when nobody falls, but everyone rises.